Sad morning, Mistress Kerr. I knew your husband, and I knew nothing bad.
There's few would say different, Sergeant. You come on behalf of Sir Walter?
Aye.
Then we thank him for his sympathy.
I come with his orders, not with his sympathy. Gavin Kerr of Slittrig, you have to accompany me to the warden.
Sus would show scant respect for mourning. I've just buried my father.
I know, but Sir Walter would see you now, and I'm to take you by force. If I have to.
What reason?
To answer a charge of murder.
Aye, murder.
Item, that on the 5th day of May last past, the Kerrs of Slittrig, with Tam Elliot and other Scots to the number of 4 persons, did enter English ground, and coming upon John Lyle of Parkhead, did slay him, and take away his cattle to the number of 22 beasts.
Well, I deny it.
Then deny it to Sir John Forster, the English warden. The Lyles have sworn out this bill of complaint to him.
We've been raided, my sister kidnapped, our herd stolen.
But you entered England, that much you admit.
Well, we thought the raiders were English. It's lawful to follow stolen gear in hot pursuit. My
It's
sister
lawful
was...
if you observe the laws. Did you have lighted peats in your lances? No. Did you ask the first Englishman you met to accompany you?
Aye, we
No.
asked John Lyle. He refused.
Aye, John Lyle. But did you kill him? And lift his cattle as a reprisal, eh? Because somebody did.
The Kerrs aren't the only ones named in that bill.
I've sent for the Elliots. It's a grievous affair, Gavin. Grievous affair. And your father's death not the least part of it. How's my kinswoman taking it?
Well, how would she take it? Seeing a man's body brought back tied across his horse.
Tell me, when you look into her eyes, what do you see?
If she weeps in private.
I wasn't thinking of tears.
Well, what else would I look for?
Accusation? Aye, you put that halter around your father's neck as surely as if you tied it there with your own hands. The English for once have the right of it.
He crossed the border to seek me. He was no raider.
To their way of thinking he was, and who's to blame for that, eh? Whatever the rights and wrongs of this case, your mother has lost a husband, and your family has lost its protector, and I've lost a dear friend.
It's a wonder that lie doesn't choke you, Sisford. My father neither liked nor trusted you.
Hey, now, young Kerr, the Lord Warden won't be spoken to like that.
I won't deny that your father had his differences with me, and I with him. He wouldn't render those services he was obliged to give the warden. He refused the protection which those services would have given him and his family. He was a stubborn man.
He was his own man.
That could well be a matter of regret for you. Now, this bill will have to be answered to Sir John at the next day of truce. It could go hard for you.
What Sir Walter means is that if your father had been under his assurance, Sir Walter might have been able to swear on his warden's oath that your account was a true one.
And Foster would have accepted it, as I accept his.
Aye. Well, your oaths have equal value.
As you say. But there's still time to protect yourself and your family. I've had Master Pringle prepare a document which might interest you. Well, I think you should hear it.
Be it known to all men by these present letters that I, Gavin Kerr of Slittrig, loyally and truly bind myself to Sir Walter Kerr of Sesford.
Forevermore. First and before all others. My allegiance to our sovereign lady the Queen only being accepted, and be ready to do the said Sir Walter's service with all my kin, friends, and servants.
And in all his schemes and ploys for advancing his own personal ambitions at the expense of those too weak to resist him. I'll sign no bond to serve you nor any other man.
You judge me as harshly as your father did. I'm simply asking for your help in return for my guardianship.
Quius custodiat ipsos custodes.
I have no Latin.
What it means, Sir Walter,
Who guards the guardians?
Your time at university was ill spent if it results in ill judgment.
You'll get only what's due to you under the law.
You won't sign?
No.
Keep him under lock and key, Sergeant.
There's no need for this. I'll attend the day of truce when I'm summoned.
I won't take that risk. Foster's determined that some man will pay for Lyle's death. I want you where I can lay my hands on you.
You'll be back soon, Mother.
Who's at the milk?
Griselle.
She'd no right to go helping herself.
I gave it to her, Mother. Look, it's a long ride to the convent, and she's only a child. She needed something inside of her.
She fed well enough before she left. And Nuns will feed her again when she's there. Shutting up here without you or your sister going helping yourself.
Mother, please.
Has Jamie come back yet?
Just. He says the nuns at the convent will keep Griselle as long as we want them to.
Well, maybe she can come back next week. At least one of us is out of harm's way for a while.
What are you afraid of, Mother? Gavin will soon show the warden that he didn't kill that Englishman. Then he'll be back too.
Here's your meal, mistress. Is Gavin not back yet?
Not yet.
But he will be soon, won't he?
Okay, aye.
Agnes, go and fetch some more milk. Rab, who did kill Lyle?
It must have been Tom Elliot.
And Tom Elliott's under Cessford's protection. Well, Sir Walter will see to it that he comes to no harm.
Nor Gavin neither. For the sake of a deed Englishman.
You know Sir Walter. He's had dealings with the English before, when it suited him.
And you think this might be a time that'll suit him? Oh, no, mistress. Gavin will be back soon, you'll see.
Aye.
Fetch your mother, lass.
She might not care to be fetched. Dismount and I'll take you to her.
You're insolent for your age.
I can afford to be.
You would threaten an official of the Warden Court.
We have no liking for the warden or his officials. Now, where's my brother?
Our message concerns him.
I'll fetch you.
That boy's tongue's likely to land him on the gallows one day.
He's done nothing.
You look Guy hungry.
My thanks to you, miss. You'll soon be past either hunger or thirst.
You have a message from Cessford about my son?
Aye, mistress. He's being held by Sir Walter till after the day of truce.
Cessford can't do that.
The Lord Warden has the right to do as he thinks best. I don't need to tell you he's done that.
I'm grateful to my cousin for his favour. Is that all, Sergeant?
Aye. Good day to you, mistress.
Will Gavin be harmed?
Cessford wouldn't dare touch him before his trial. But I wouldn't give him luck for that other poor rogue.
Robin Graham?
You know him?
Oh, well, he was one of the raiders that struck at us.
Was he the one that saved you from the others?
Aye.
Then a sup of milk's a poor return.
The Lyles aren't short of friends. And I swear to God, if we don't get justice from the wardens, we'll be riding that feud with the curs.
Sir John wants no trouble with Cessford. Your bill will come up on the day of truce.
Aye. And it had better be settled in full. My uncle dead, half my cattle run off. It's a wonder to me they didn't set a torch to the place before they left.
As you say, it's a wonder. I hear talk that you and your uncle lifted some gear off the Scots at the last moon.
We've never harmed the curs of Slitrig. They'd no grievance against us.
They have now with their father hanged.
Yeah. And we've crees enough in Cumberland to hang the rest of them.
I warn you, Lyle. Sir John wants the matter settled legally. He won't have you raiding the Slitrig.
Won't he? It seems to me that Sir John Foster is more concerned with protecting the curs than he is with his yen folk.
I wouldn't say that in his presence, Lyle. Your uncle had a bounden duty to set watch on that forge.
He did set watch.
Aye. With a half-grown lad with the milk still wet on his lips.
He's old enough to keep a watch.
And young enough to find other diversions.
It was my fault. No, lad. It's the cure's fault. Nobody else's. And like they'll try to escape the penalty.
But you build them with the John Foster.
Oh, build them. And what good is that? Who's their warden? Sir Walter Kerr. Same name, same blood. He'll make shift to protect his own.
If we could prove they had our camp.
Ah, there's no proof to be had. No, lad. If we don't get justice from Sir John Foster, then comes the next full moon. Ah, well, we'd be advised to take care of what's left of our gear. I take back to the ford. And take a pistol. You are Robin Graham, but you aren't Robin Graham.
Well, the debatable land's full of Grahams. Half of them's called Robin.
But one of them's an outlaw.
Well, it's for you to prove that it's me, Sir Walter.
Just so. An hour with the Pillywinkies would soon get the truth out of you.
A man might talk, but he might not talk the truth.
What evidence have we against him, Sergeant?
A servant lass in an alehouse in Hoyk heard him boasting he was one of Black Dowie's band.
Dowie's band struck him at own lands last month.
And does the Lord Warden set such store on the word of a tavern wench?
Ah, but she'll swear to it.
No, but she would. You should have inquired into her reasons.
Which were?
And she discovered that she wasn't the bonniest lass in town. I'd discovered that already.
And she'd see you hang.
Oh, sooner stroke a wildcat than a woman. The one's dangerous when you start, and the other's dangerous when you stop.
I'm told you were testing that notion when my sergeant took you.
And then did he tell you that I put up no fight? And does that sound like the conduct of an outlaw?
Aye, because you weren't wearing your sword belt at the time, were you?
You wear your sword belt in bed.
You're a light-tongued limmer, Graham. Are you Scots or English?
No, the point's in some dispute. I'll leave it for my betters to decide.
You mean you're one or other as it suits you? Like the rest of the rogues in the debatable land?
Well, having lost my father to the English and seeing my brothers killed by the Scots, I've got no reason for favouring either side.
But you've got good reason for raiding both, eh? And you'll hang for it.
If anyone testifies against me.
Do you think they won't?
Well, the Grahams would be so impressed by their devotion to justice that they'd be likely to call and thank them by moonlight.
If it please you, Sir Walter.
Eh?
Sir Walter. Tom Elliot is here in answer to your summons.
Sergeant!
I had a word with Elliot. He denies killing Lyle.
He would.
But it's a wee thing awkward, Sir Walter. You see, he's under your assurance.
I'm aware of it, Pringle, as Lyle is under Foster's.
Sir John is gay anxious to see somebody punished. If he should be disappointed...
There'll be more bloodshed.
Right, get his hands out.
Do you doubt my word, Cessford?
Oh, I wouldn't just put it just as strongly as that, but my own honour might be involved in this affair if I have to swear to your innocence.
It's a gay serious business, Mr. Elliot. This will be the third time you've had to answer a bill at a warden's meeting. If it should go against you, it could be a hanging matter.
But they're mistaken. The bill is mistaken.
Doubtless, Tom, doubtless. A name could be entered into a bill in honest error. As you know yourself.
What do you mean, Cessford?
Well, I have a complaint from your own hand for redress, according to which you were raided and spolied by the Lyles of Parkhead.
Well, it's true I was raided. But it wasn't the Lyles. No. They were Tyndale raiders. The Ridleys or Charltons, most likely. They weren't the Lyles.
Do you withdraw the bill, then?
Aye, I was mistaken.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Tom. The thought might have crossed some folks' minds that you'd taken the matter into your own hand, you know?
No. Nothing like that.
Good.
Well, I can rely on your support, then.
Oh, well, the matter's not just as simple as that, Tom.
Say?
No, there's a missing hair to be accounted for, and I've got to discover who has it, you know?
By God, Cessford, I'm your man. When you ask me to ride, I ride, and this is how you repay me. As Sir Walter Kerr of Cessford, you're glad to take my protection money. But as Warden of the Middle March, you would see me hanged.
Now, that's enough before you say too much. As Warden, I cannot swear you are innocent unless I can prove you to be so. My sergeant will find those cattle. Tomorrow. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
These cattle, Davy, not going to dry the milk to slit leg. Well, boy, where do you think you're taking the beasts?
Back where they belong.
Supposing I say they belong here.
And I call you a liar. I know this beast to be one of my uncles. It bears the scars on its haunch where a wolf savaged him.
Are you saying these beasts have been reaved?
Like the others.
Ah, well, this is a matter of some concern. You see, as Davy here will tell you, I bought these beasts in good faith last Hoyk fair. Is that so, David? Hey! Hey! All right, David, let's mount. Finish him off. No! Wait! He's not alone. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Hurry up! Hurry up! Yes, come on! Hey, up!
No, rest quiet, lad. You'll open the wound again. There now. You've lost over much blood as it is. Agnes, get a bowl of broth.
Where is this place, mistress?
The Slittrig. I'm Margaret Kerr. That's my daughter Agnes. Yon's our grieve, Rab. Now, lad. It's a pain bag.
It's just an ache, mistress.
It'll pass when the wound heals. We thought we'd lost you last night. But when you were still breathing at cockcrow, I knew the fever was on the turn.
Last night? How long have I been here, then?
Oh, near enough 3 days.
In a right sorry state you were in, too. You owe your life to the mistress here. She and Miss Agnes have scarce left your bed since you were brought in.
3 days?
What's your name, boy?
Simon.
My, but they were sparing with names when they christened you. Just Simon.
Simon... Fenwick.
Fenwick? Then you'll be for the English side. Well, there's a lot of Fenwicks. Most of them are rogues. Well, which kind are you?
Rab, don't fash the lad, and he's barely got his senses back.
Well, his family should know where he is.
Aye. Where are you from, lad?
Tynedale.
Rab, I think you'd better
but
start...
they'll not have missed me yet. I was herdsboy up in the high pastures.
I thought as much when you spoke in your fever. Not that there was much sense to it.
What did I say?
Oh, you talked about finding your cattle. Had you lost some?
Aye, they wandered. I crossed over to look for them and wandered myself.
And how did you come by the sword cut? Robbers?
Oh, aye. Just that. Robbers.
Did you have anything worth the taking, Simon?
A horse and a pistol.
They didn't take either. The one's in the stable and the other's here.
Now, Jamie, I want you to keep a close watch on the tower until we return. Even though this is a day of truce, there's plenty that might not keep it.
Rob, I've promised Simon I'd take him fishing.
The fish will be here tomorrow. The Lyles might be here today.
Do you think they'd break the truce then?
Aye, they might. And if they do, you can't look to the neighbours for help.
We'll not all be at the warden's meeting.
Be a sorry day of truce if they're not.
Where do they go?
To hear the judgments and watch the hangings.
It's not a thing I'd care to watch.
Well, I'm sorry you have to come at all, Miss Agnes. But the laird might need your evidence.
Yes, of course.
Now, Jamie, bar the door once we've gone. And don't open it for anybody. Stand on this, Miss Agnes.
Thank you, Rob.
The last time we got attacked, we got burned out because Agnes had left the door unbarred. The Lyles might try the same ploy.
No, they wouldn't. They'd have no reason to if they just came looking for their own gear.
Aye, but they might not be too pleased when they find out we didn't have it.
She swam Manori, oh Manori, till she got to the stain where her sister had sung, by the bonny mill down. Sister, sister, gave me a run, Manori, oh Manori.
Ah, they're the great, there they are, the women's all.
I declare, Sir Walter, there's half the thieves and moss troopers from both sides of the border out there. A decent man walks in fear of his life.
Ah, you're safe enough, Pringle, even in a day of truce. There'll be no killing today except by way of justice.
I sometimes think justice could be served in a more seemly manner.
You want to change the march laws, eh?
No, but I could still wish there was some alternative to mixing with the like of yon rabble out there every 40 days.
Oh, there's an alternative, Pringle, there is. Open war. A chance raid across the border, a reprisal from the other side, and next thing both countries are clawing at each other's guts. How many bills have we got to hear today?
You'll have a busy time of it. He's enrolled 14 bills against us.
The devil he has. And how many are we against the English?
12.
This touches upon the national honour. We'll acknowledge the same number on his part.
But what two am I to set aside?
Are any of the accused under our assurance?
Aye, there's Armstrong, a Westbourne flat, pasturing cattle in the opposite realm. And there's... the cares of Sliprig.
Raiding and slaughter? Oh, no, Pringle, they must be tried. Sir John would be guy angry if that complaint was ignored. No, find another. What other business have we today?
Oh, the usual complaints, mostly reaving. And there's the man Graham that denies himself.
Somebody might recognise it. Some fool that doesn't mind bringing the whole Graham family about his ears. Forster. John means to leave us in no doubt of his presence. The man's as brazen as his bugle.
Caution and courtesy, sir. He's very easy roused.
The formalities will be observed, Pringle. It sticks in my throat to be even civil to yon arrogant jackanapes.
On behalf of our sovereign lady, Elizabeth of England, my Lord Warden of the English Middlemarch sends greetings and presents his safe conduct on coming into Scotland for this day of truce.
We receive his greetings most cordially on behalf of our sovereign lady Queen Mary. Sir Walter Kerr, my Lord Warden of the Scottish Middlemarch, acknowledges the safe conduct and bids Sir John welcome.
Your rogues have been active in England of late, Cessford. There's been a raid or a burning every week, and I won't tolerate it.
We would trouble ourselves, Sir John. There's no shortage of rank riders on your side.
Some, maybe. I received your bills.
They balance ours exactly.
I roll 14.
We'll acknowledge 12.
Huh?
I've inquired into the other two. There's no substance to the complaint.
By God, Cessford, if this is one of your tricks to protect the curs of Slittering...
Gavin Kerr is here and in my custody.
Ah, so be it. I'm pretty displeased with that business, and I'll insist on satisfaction, even if they are your kinsmen.
They will receive no special favours. As you observed, there are rogues on both sides of the border.
The finest capita, mistress, newly brought in from France. Maybe a silk and brocade is more to your fancy. There, would that not make the finest wedding gown in Diddesdale?
Oh, I've no need for that yet. And I think it is a wee bit too grand to wear at the Mill King.
Such a stout broadcloth now, woven on my own looming silk turn there. Feel the strength of it.
Put your wares away, man. We've no money.
And I just thought, well, I wondered if I could take something home for Mother. A kerchief or a ribbon or something.
Oh, I thought it was bothering you. You can company like this, you must stay close by me. 2 merks. That wouldn't clothe all those.
Aye, it's true. And we'll need every merk we've got if we're to survive the winter with half the cattle gone.
Yes.
The truce is now convened. Be it known that all persons whatsoever that come to this meeting will be safe from the time of the warden's meeting until the next day of the sun rising.
They're calling the bills. We better go.
They tell me that you're the cur of Slittering, man.
They tell you rightly.
A thief and a murderer.
They tell you wrongly, whoever you are.
I'm Adam Lyle, and the murdered man was my uncle.
We didn't kill him.
You're a liar.
Watch your tongue, Lyle.
You're a liar! And a bloody murderer! And a coward! My uncle was alone when you and your raider struck. Alone and injured. But by God, if he and my boys had been there, you'd had a different ending to your story.
You'll hear our side of it when the charges are read.
There's only one side to it. And I tell you this, if I don't get satisfaction today, I'll be riding a feud with you.
Ride then. And bring the whole filthy rabble of Tangel at your back. We'll be ready.
Rab, look, we've suffered at the hands of your people. My father was hanged by them.
Well, it's our custom. As a warning to others, we hang dead crows.
Oh. Watch us out!
Put up your swords!
There's the man at fault. He drew his sword on me.
You're almost in your hand in that provocation.
Quiet. I don't care who started it, but I mean to stop it. Don't you know the punishment for breaking the truce is death? Now sheathe your swords and be on your way.
All pay for this. All buy this now. I insist upon my rights, Sergeant. A fine piece of doublet silk ruined by a sword thrust.
You're lucky you weren't wearing.
The rolling hill goes above. There is a sad so
Come on, Miss Agnes.
keep watch from the parapet, Jeremy, if you let me have my pistol.
Keep watch if you like, but I wouldn't expect you to shoot your own countrymen. However, since you've taken food and shelter from this house, your gun can help defend it.
You seem very sure they'll come.
If they do, they'll go home with empty saddles. They're not likely to ride an open foray in broad daylight. But the thing is, Rob and Gavin might not be back until nightfall. Rob said he'd look out for your folk at the meeting. And if you're strong enough, you can go home with them. Are you, Simon? Simon? Are you in such a hurry for home, then?
If I am, I'll take only what I brought. My horse and my pistol.
You show a lack of courtesy, Simon Fennick, if your name is Fennick.
It's Lyle. And I've little reason to be courteous to a cur.
Aye, we thought as much when you spoke in your fever, Simon Lyle. But we weren't sure. Put that away. If we'd meant to harm you, it would have been done by now.
Maybe you thought to keep me hostage.
Nor that either. The pistol isn't charged.
I saw you charge it.
You saw me put a ball in, but no powder. You can prove it by pulling the trigger.
Simon? Well, laddies, and what kind of game's this?
It's no game, Mother. Simon's just told me who he is.
Has he now? And not without help from you, I'd say. I gave strict instructions he was to be left to tell us in his own good time.
Aye, well, I thought you said
You thought, did you? Maybe you think you're old enough to defy me. Well, you're not too old for a taste of the saddle leather, either of you.
Mother, you was going off to tell his kin that we were like to defend it.
I was not.
Then what?
That I knew you'd hidden our cattle.
And what's this, Simon? Are you calling us thieves? Is that what you think of us?
How can I think any different? I found our cattle on your land.
You couldn't have done it.
If it was not your land, then how do I come to be here, at Sliptrig Tower? It was one of your folk that wounded me.
Which one?
I don't know his name, but he called the other man Davy.
We have no man named Davy. But I know someone who has.
You shall clean no bills worthy to be fouled, foul no bills worthy to be cleaned, but shall do that which appears to be the truth for the maintenance of peace and the suppression of attempts, so help you God.
What is all that?
You shall clean no bills.
Pringle swearing in their size, jury.
Foul no bills worthy to be cleaned, but shall do that which appears to be the truth.
You see,
for the maintenance of
first
peace,
to fix the Scots, says for fix the English.
So help you God.
If a bill is fouled, a man is guilty. If it's cleaned, then he's innocent.
I call upon Gavin Kerr of Slitrig and Tom Elliott of Stubbs to stand forth.
Clear the way, sir. Come on.
Gavin!
Agnes, what are you doing here? Rob, what'd you bring her here for?
She can testify to being kidnapped.
You are to answer to a bill that on the 5th day of May last past, you did with others to the number of 4 persons enter English ground, and coming upon John Lyle of Parkhead, did slay him and take away his cattle to the number of 22 beasts. How do you answer?
I deny it.
I too deny it.
Then you shall swear by heaven above you, hell beneath you, by your part of paradise, by all that God made in 6 days and 7 nights, and by God himself, that you are innocent of the charges named in this bill, so help you God. Do you so swear?
I so swear.
Do you so swear?
Aye.
Who presents this bill?
I do. Adam Lyle. And I demand that this matter be settled by single combat.
Think of your family. If you were killed or even maimed, it would be the end of them.
It's not often we get such a request, but it's in accordance with March custom. What say you, Cesspit?
If the Laird of Slitrig is willing.
Sure, go on.
I refuse the challenge.
There's your answer, Sir Walter. It would seem your people have no stomach for fighting when the odds are even.
By God, Sir John, you've an uncivil way of putting things.
I merely note that it was 4-1 when Lyle was murdered.
Sir Walter.
Aye? Well, speak, man.
Might it not have been 3-1, seeing that I took no part in it?
That's a lie!
Silence, you!
You took no part in the raid?
I joined the laird of Slitrig in pursuit of stolen cattle. But I turned back after we crossed to the English side.
Sir Walter, you've got to listen to this. You lose your tongue and...
I know not what happened after I left.
I've inquired into this man's story. He speaks the truth.
Do you swear that on your warden's oath?
On my warden's oath.
Liars! Be quiet now. And there's an end to the matter. And do you so swear for the laird of Slitrig?
Well, I must be impartial and honest. Gavin Kerr is not under my protection as Tom Elliot is.
Well?
The warden's honours involved in matters of state. His word cannot be given lightly. No, I can't give my oath in this instance.
Then you must answer to the charge of raiding.
We were not raiding. Our home in the Citric was attacked by Moss troopers. We drove them off. But not before they'd kidnapped my sister and taken my herd. We thought they were English and crossed the border in pursuit.
Why should you think they were English?
It has been known.
Look, Rad killed one of them. We recognized him as John Muschamp from Cumberland.
I'm acquainted with the man. I outlawed him 2 months ago and he fled to Scotland for refuge.
Aye, well, we found that out too late. He was one of Black Dowie's men from the debatable land.
What has this to do with my uncle's murder?
We stopped at your Uncle Stedding to ask him for help. He said he'd broken his knee pan and refused to ride with us. He was alive when we left.
One of my land sergeants said he heard the dying man name you with his own lips. Is that not so?
Well, he swore to it, sir, and named the Kerrs of Slitrig as his murderers.
Then he was lying. Or mistaken. There's the billy that killed him. Tom Elliot. When we rode on, he stayed behind. His own cattle was spoliated by the English at the last moon, and he was red hot for revenge.
Who is this man, sir? Is he named in the bill?
Not directly, but he'd be with the Kerrs. He's called Rabba the Lee. He's their grieve.
A man of repute?
Oh, never that. An unhung moss trooper, alive for want of evidence.
Then we'll hear no word from him. Besides, we have your oath on Elliot's innocence.
You have that?
Lies! It's all lies, Sir John. A tale. An excuse. There was no raid on the Slitrig.
Look, the men who were with me that day, they're here in this court. They'll swear I'm telling the truth.
Since they were party to the act, I'll not accept their oaths. But your sister, you say she was taken by Dowie's outlaw?
Aye, sir.
Do they still have her?
No, sir. She's here.
She is? And the other lass?
Come on, Agnes. Move here.
It's as my brother says. When the raiders struck, I was outside the tower with my sister. They caught me, but she got away.
And what did they do?
They took me and our cattle to a secret place they knew of in the hills.
Did they shame you, lass?
What?
Were you dishonored?
No, sir.
The Dowie's outlaws aren't noted for their gallantry. The tale grows more suspect every minute.
I won't have my sister spoken to like this. No, sir, you, Sir Walter.
It's relevant to our inquiries.
What is? To humiliate a helpless girl? She wasn't harmed, and that's enough of it.
It seems to show a certain lack of manhood on this side of the border.
It's been proved otherwise. There are certain of your kinsmen that couldn't swear to their parentage.
Truce or no truce, you got too far.
And further if need be.
I beg of you, restrain yourself. There's 200 armed men out there just waiting for the chance to slaughter one another.
To return to the matter in hand. Were you ransomed?
No, they let me go.
A tale! Why should they take her and then let her go?
Robin Graham made them. A man called Robin Graham.
Why would he protect you?
He wanted to avoid a feud with us.
Oh. Now the Kerrs of Slitrig such a terror on the border then?
My father was held in great respect, sir.
Sir John, we have a Robin Graham in custody.
The same man?
Well, he's suspected of being of Dowie's band, but as yet we have no proof. Fetch him, Sergeant.
Don't forget your witnesses. There they they are, the faith.
I admire the man's courage, but I got other thoughts about his wisdom.
No man, Graham. The lass that'll put you in the gallows.
A lass?
Aye. You seem to have a little luck with him.
Lords and masters.
Bring them closer together.
Well, is this the man?
No, it's not him.
Yes, it's all lies. Nothing but lies.
But listen, she told us.
I know. She doubtless has her own reasons.
If she was taken by Dowie's outlaws, why doesn't she recognize this one? Can it be that you're mistaken, Cessford?
It's aye possible. Does anyone here know this man?
There's that dozen here could recognize him for his ill deeds.
Aye.
There's no witness against him, Cessford, and this has little bearing on the matter in hand.
With respect, my Lord Warden, it has great bearing on my freedom. Does Sir Walter intend to detain me?
Sergeant, release him! On, get out.
Well, farewell then, friends. One and all. I never forget a favor.
And I never forget a face. Get out, Graham.
I think we've heard enough of the Kerr's bill, Cessford.
As you say, Sir John. Master Pringle?
How do you find this bill? Is it clean or fouled?
The finest been sliced, sir. Newly brought in from the 6 marks is a cheap price to pay to bring a promise to a pair of blue hearts.
Aye, but they're green, and I haven't got 6 marks. Tell me, do you carry your pack all over the borders?
Yes.
I can see to it that you're not troubled by thieves.
I'm not troubled now.
The bill is fouled.
It means they found me guilty of the charge.
Tell me it'll never sleep while the moon's out.
That'll do, Dad. We've enough trouble as it is.
Master Walter, there's the matter of the compensation.
Compensation? A life for a life? That's compensation.
When you've already had it. My father was killed by your people.
A delicate point, Sir Walter. The Privy Council would be too pleased at our losing 2 cases to their 1.
True. His father, Gavin Kerr, was killed by one of your sergeants.
On my side of the border.
He crossed the border to tell me I'd gone in the wrong direction.
We're back at that tale again, are we? Very well, Cessford, I won't press the matter, but I must have satisfaction for the stolen gear.
Well, the customary settlement's 3 times the value of the goods taken, which would be what?
690 merks.
That's 3 times the sworn value of the gear. We'll accept the settlement.
You will accept it?
I'll need time to get the money.
We need time to go into hiding where we'll never find you again.
The point's easily settled, Sir John. Keep him as pledge until the money's paid.
Aye. You give him to us. We'll take care of him.
No, Lyle. Under the law, we can hold a pledge for a year and a day. And if he isn't redeemed in that time, we can hang him, but not until then. It is therefore my pleasure that you be warded in one of my dungeons until the money is found.
How long am I likely to survive there? You just save yourself the price of a tenpenny route.
Well, that's an inducement to settle the bill. What do you say, Cessford?
Well, he has lands and gear to sell if there's a buyer.
So be it. Take him, Sergeant.
Wait!
Mistress.
Good day to you, Sir Walter.
And to you, cousin.
Cousin? The Kerr women on backwards in pushing themselves into men's business.
I have a purpose in being here, Sir John.
If it's to do with your son, the matter's settled. His bill is fouled.
Simon!
Who is this boy?
Simon, wait.
Cessford, what is going on here, Cessford?
Simon, is the man...
That's him! Who is this boy?
Stop, order!
Answer me, who is this boy?
It's my brother.
What's he doing here? Women, boys, Sergeant, remove him.
Clear him out, sir, for the sake of justice.
Oh, don't stop
Take
him!
him, lad. Don't be afraid.
That man killed my uncle.
Boys,
He tried to kill me.
There's no way safe.
Across the border into Liddesdale, and I found our cattle on his land.
Sir John, Sir Walter, it's no true.
Leave Charlie alive for their sake!
I was bringing some of them back when him and his man Davy set on me. Had I died of his sword cuts if the cares hadn't have saved me.
Do you swear this in the Bible?
There's no need.
This is a strange affair, Cessford. We have your oath on Elliot's innocence.
And we have the Lyle's cattle outside. Evidence of his guilt.
Sir Walter? It grieves me to admit my mistake.
So, the matter is concluded to everyone's satisfaction.
Tom Elliot looked none too satisfied.
The fool got off lightly. He could have been hung.
Would have been, but for your intercession.
I acknowledge my obligations to those who acknowledge theirs to me. You're a proud man.
I'm my own man.